Alright my friends, so it's time for us to focus on a different functionality because we got the response, we displayed all this information on our screen. Pretty straightforward. Now I want to focus on different thing. But once again, I'm gonna leave the style to the end of this module because if I write the style right now, we will confuse ourselves a lot. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick with what we have now. It's pretty nice. In fact, it's not, but we are gonna stick with it. So let's go ahead and focus on the second part, which will be the routing stuff. Because as you can see here, I am displaying all these images, but also if the user click on the name of the photographer of this image right here, if you click on it, we will get different page that it is gonna display images, some details, information about each photographer, the name, the bio or the description. We have the image, we can view the profile, we have images by this name right here, and some of the images that is related to this specific user. But we can see here we have routing, all right, because we can see here is a different URL, and here once I click on one of the names, all right, we are gonna get a different information. All right, so different URL right here, so we got some routing goes here. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. So once again, we need to use React Router DOM. So first of all, I have to install the package. So npm install react router DOM. This is the name of the package that I want to use, and you will use React Router DOM. I'm gonna hit enter, and while that installing, let's go ahead and set up our routes. And the perfect place to do so, it is the app.js. But before doing so, we have to go to the index.js. Here I'm just gonna import the browser router. Okay, the browser router. Okay, the package is not installed, whatever. Let's just type it. So the browser router, and we wanna import that from React Router DOM like this. So we have imported the browser router, and here I'm just gonna kill the terminal. All right, and minimize this thing, close this thing. We have to right here. So I'm importing the browser router from React Router DOM. I need to surround my app. So I'm just gonna surround it, browser router, with I'm gonna surround the app component. All right, like this. So now the app.js is ready to define any routes that we want. So here inside my app.js, I first of all need to import the route. All right, so I'm gonna import route. Come on, route like this, as well as we need some other components. But first of all, let me import, and let's see what we wanna import. First of all, we want the route, and we need the switch as well, because we will surround all the routes with a switch. So here I'm just gonna cut my photo list or delete it, and here I'm gonna define a route. All right, and once the path is equal to slash, then the component that should load. So component that should load, it is the photo list. All right, and this URL should be exact like this. Once the path or the URL it's exactly slash, then I'm gonna load this component right here, and I have to define another route, which will be the path equal to, here we want to apply dynamic value. Once the URL is slash photos slash or we can say slash users, because here we are displaying specific user slash user, and here I can give it a parameters that will be dynamically set later on, and the name, and here in order for us to access any user, we have to give it the username. Okay, so here I'm just gonna say username. It's not the ID as we used to do, it is the username. So if you want to access anything from the Unsplash, you have to make a request to this thing, to slash users slash the username of the photographer. So this is the rule of the Unsplash API. So that's why here I'm gonna say /users/ username. All right, I want to access the username, and the component that should be loaded, we want to create custom component for this thing right here. So going back here inside our component, I'm just going to create a new folder. Let's call it user info like this, and here we need a user info. So user info.js. Once here we are going to make it a class-based component, because we want to make a request to get the details for each user. Once I click here, this information will be fetched from the Unsplash API. So that's why this here need to be class-based component, because I want to make some request from it. And we already know how to create class-based components, really straightforward. And here I'm just gonna say div that says user or anything. All right, and going back to the app.js, I have to import it or use it immediately. So just call user info like this. It will be immediately imported on the top. And here I'm just gonna add the exact attribute, so I want to get the exact URL right here. And the last thing that I have to do, it is to surround these two routes with our switch component. All right, so here I'm just gonna cut them and type switch in a here I'm just gonna say switch, and here I'm gonna paste my routes, and that's it. In this video, first of all, we have installed React Router DOM, as well we have created some routes inside our app.js. This is something that you already know from the routing section, so I highly expect of you were watching me doing this kind of stuff. In the next video, we will set up our photo item to accept some, or to make some request, or at least to turn the title for the user here to be a link. Thank you, my friends, so much for watching. See you in the next one.